Hi, my name is Ashton Richards. I'm a sales consultant here with Veith Consulting, and today I wanted to go over a bit about the broadcast message and how to use it. So under the Communication tab on the Admin menu, you'll click on Broadcast Email Messaging. We have two different options here. There's New Message and New Advanced Message. I'll start with the New Message, which is just a regular email. So in here, you'll have the send date, the send time. Both of these are used if you want to send this message at some point in the future, so you can put the day and the time. You can select the timing here. Just keep in mind that with this is when it will start trying to send out your broadcast message. If there's a lot of other messages scheduled to go out at the same time, or you have a large batch to send out, it won't send everything out exactly at that time. That's when it starts to offload all of that. You can change the reply name, the reply email. You can add in a subject. So here I will set it up for a test message for today's date. If you want to make this more personal, you can do this include a salutation option and select from the drop down here the person's first name or dear first name. The first name is just the replacement tag, so it'll just pick up the person in the member database who that is, and it will replace first name with their name. You can include your message in here. Then, like with all of our other text editors here, you have this WYSIWYG editor. So you have the same things like you normally do, where you can add links, you can add images, different containers. If you're comfortable using HTML, you can click this source option and you can put whatever you want in here. Next, we're going to click continue. If you have any attached files that you want to include, you can include it here. This next page is the recipients page. So on here, there's a few different ways to go about adding recipients. So you can do it based off of member plans. You can do it based on status of that member plan. So for example, if I wanted to come through here, and let's say I just wanted to do staff records, make sure it's just active staff records. Then if you want to, you can check this box to include cross-reference members. You then would just click this Add Recipients by Membership Plan, and everyone who falls under the category of staff that I just selected is automatically loaded over here. With this, you can delete them individually if you see a name you don't want over here, or if you want to just remove all of them, you can just click this Remove All button, and it will remove all of them. If you want to add one at a time, in this field here, you can just start typing in whatever name it is. Again, there's the option to include cross-reference members, and then you can add selected members to the list over here. We also have the By Other Grouping section here. With this, you can select any of these options, and any of this will be imported into the recipient list. A common one that would be used is you generate a custom report, and then you can use that custom report as a mailing list. So for the sake of progression here, I will add my own name here. Click on continue. On this last page here, it's going to run you through everything you've done up until this point before you send it. So it will include the subject line, what the message is, it'll show any attachments that you have, who your recipients are, and at the bottom here it gives a spam analysis score. The lower this score, the better. This has a 3 out of 5, so this is a problem. This is something you don't want to see. You don't want to see a 3 or higher, so making sure you keep this as low as possible is going to be a good idea. When you scroll down in here, it will start to mention exactly what it is that is giving you those points of that score, so that you have a better idea how to reduce your score. So the next step here would just be to send the message, but I'm not going to do that at this time. So we'll go back to messages here. Next, we will go into the advanced message editor. So with this advanced message editor, same thing as before. You can set up a future date, reply name, reply from email, the subject line, a pre-header if you want to include that, a category, So let's say I want it to be the Pastry Chefs of America category. If you want to publish this as a newsletter, then you would just check this box here. If you want to publish this at a later date, so the publish date is different than the send date. If you choose to make this a newsletter, this publish date is just when it would show up with other newsletters on your site. Selecting a template to start from, so we'll do the custom blank pastry template. Click continue. And now we get to the editor. So for this will allow for you to build your newsletter from the ground up. So there's these different content options, there's row options, and then there's the different settings. So with this, I can come in here and I can put these different row blocks in here, however I want them to be. Then you can just select your content, put these in here anywhere that you want. And this is all customizable by you. If you really like how you set something up here, what you can do before you progress is you can click this Save as Template option. What this will do is this will save your structure that you have set up so that you actually have this as a template loaded for later. So moving on in the future, if you want to use the same look for your newsletter, you can just keep selecting this newsletter template over and over again. It makes it a lot easier for setup time. You can just have to go in and change maybe your links, your text, or your images, anything like that. But the structure would always look the same as long as you're picking that same template. So we'll do save and continue. Again, it'll show you where you can attach your files here. A lot of the time with the newsletter styling, you can include everything up front so you don't need to attach any kind of files. But again, this is all up to you and how you want to do it. The recipients list works the exact same way as the regular mailing list, or for the regular newsletter. So here we'll just add some employees. So that includes these two. Continue. This is where it deviates a little bit. So at the very end here, it's going to show you a desktop view for your newsletter. And next to it, it will also show you a mobile view of this newsletter. So you'll be able to see what people are going to be able to look at for this newsletter on their computer as well as on a mobile device. Otherwise, it shows where your attachments would be, your recipients, and again, your spam analysis score. So again, you can just look through here, see what needs to be done to reduce it. In this case, this score was 2 out of 5. That's acceptable, but still, this may potentially end up in some people's spam folders if their settings are more strict. So that's about everything for this currently. We look forward to working with you, and if you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks. Have a great day.